All right, today we're jumping into a short, but honestly a really tough passage from the Gospel of Matthew. It's basically a mission briefing given to these ancient messengers, and on the surface, the whole thing just sounds, well, impossible.
So let me just ask you this right up front, just to frame this whole thing. Imagine you're sent on a crucial journey, but you can't take any money. No food, no extra clothes, not even a walking stick for protection. Could you do it? I mean, could you really rely on nothing but your message and the kindness of total strangers? Because that, right there, is the radical challenge we're about to impact.
So here are the commands, straight up. No gold, no silver, not even the most basic copper coins. That word script, that's your backpack, your lunch bag, that's gone too. You don't even get a second coat or an extra pair of shoes. Look, this is way beyond just packing light. This is a command to be totally unequipped by any normal worldly standard. It's setting the stage for a mission that runs on a completely different kind of economy.
And that gets us right into our first big idea, the economics of faith. I mean, the obvious question is, how in the world were these people supposed to survive? The answer is this principle of radical dependence. It wasn't about what they could carry, but about what they were promised would be provided for them.
You can really see the two different mindsets here. On one side, you have how anyone would normally prepare for a trip. You pack money, you pack food, you pack gear. But on the other side is this totally new model. Your money is replaced by the hope of hospitality, your food bag is replaced by finding what's called a worthy host. And all that extra stuff for comfort and safety, it's all replaced by one thing, just plain trust.
And this one phrase is the key to the whole system. This is the justification for why this should even work. The idea is that the messenger, the workman, is bringing something of immense value, the message itself. And in exchange for that spiritual labor, they are entitled to their material support, their meat. It creates this new kind of social contract based entirely on the value of the message. And this wasn't just some random one-off command for a specific mission. It ties right into a much bigger theme you see in the Sermon on the Mount. Remember when followers are told, don't worry about your life, what you're going to eat or drink? It's the exact same principle at play, a call to put faith way above worldly anxiety. Okay, so we've got the internal mindset of faith, but how does that actually play out on the ground? What are they supposed to do when they walk into a new town? This brings us to the etiquette of peace, the specific protocol for how they were supposed to engage with people. And the process was laid out very clearly. First, you salute the house, you offer a greeting. Then, you figure out if the household is worthy, which basically means, are they receptive to your message? If the answer is yes, you let your peace come upon them. But if they're unworthy, if they reject you, you let your peace return to you. Now, what does that actually mean? See, the peace they were offering wasn't just a polite hello. In this context, it was understood to be a tangible, real, spiritual blessing. It was something you could actually give to a receptive home, or, and this is the powerful part, something you could literally take back if you were rejected. This turns a simple greeting into a really profound spiritual transaction. But what happens if they're not just unreceptive, but they turn the messenger away completely? Well, this leads to the most dramatic instruction in the whole passage, a ritual of rejection known as shaking the dust. It's an incredibly powerful symbolic gesture. The closest thing we have today is maybe the phrase, "I'm washing my hands of this." By physically shaking the dust of a town from their feet, the messengers were making a public declaration. They were saying, we did our part, our job is done. The consequences of this rejection are now entirely on you. To really get the weight of this, you have to understand the culture. A Bible scholar, T.J. Rogers, points out that a fundamental custom of hospitality back then was offering a guest water to wash the dust from their feet. So for a messenger to leave a house with their feet still dusty was physical proof that they were denied hospitality, a huge cultural taboo. Shaking it off was a public testimony against them, and it implied that God himself was taking notice. And this wasn't just a theory. People actually did it. We see the apostles Paul and Barnabas do this very thing in Antioch. It was even adopted as a formal, though controversial, ritual in the early Latter-day Saint movement to invoke a curse, although it's not practiced anymore. It just shows how seriously this instruction was taken throughout history. So all of this, the dependence, the protocol, the ritual, it's all building to this final, very severe part of the instruction, the sobering consequence for those who reject the message and the messenger. And the warning is just stark. It will be more tolerable, more bearable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for a city that rejects these messengers. I mean, think about that. Sodom and Gomorrah are the absolute symbols of divine destruction. To say the judgment will be worse for that city raises the stakes to an incredible level. This isn't just about being rude. It's an act with eternal weight.
And this leaves us with a really provocative final thought. That being offered a message of truth and turning it away is considered a more serious offense than the infamous sins of those ancient cities. It really makes you wonder, not just about the messenger's burden, but about the heavy responsibility of those who actually hear the message. What makes that choice so profoundly important?